The US economy has shrunk for the second consecutive quarter, but President Joe Biden says America is not in recession. Let's bring in here business editor Ross Greenwood. And Ross, is the president right, or is the US in a recession?
Well, it's really interesting because if it was here in Australia and this had happened, Australia would officially be in recession. But in the United States, the National Bureau of Economic Research has also got to sign off on a recession. It looks at a whole range of things, including employment and other signals, if you like, that really there is a malaise in the US economy. Now, it's interesting because it comes really off the back of these two consecutive quarters where the US economy has contracted or shrunk, if you like. The first quarter down by 1.6%. The second quarter down 0.9%. Now, Jerome Powell had warned about the prospect of recession in the United States. So too had previously even the International Monetary Fund earlier this week. You can see here even the prospects of a very, very weak growth even going forward over the next year or so. Joe Biden was having none of that. He says the United States not in recession. It's not going there anytime soon.
Okay, it's interesting.
There's going to be a lot of chatter today on Wall Street and among pundits about whether we are in a recession. But if you look at our job market, consumer spending, business investment, we see signs of economic progress in the second quarter as well. And yesterday's Fed chairman, the Fed chairman Powell made it clear that he doesn't think the U.S. economy is currently in a recession.
Ross, two of America's biggest tech giants, Amazon and Apple, are showing signs of the economic pressure with sales and profit down.
Yeah, this is a bit of a signal as to how America is actually going. So this is Amazon and Apple, as you say. Both of them are weaker than what they'd previously been. Here's Amazon, obviously one of the biggest retailers online. $7.8 billion profit in the first quarter of this year, $2 billion loss in the second quarter. And that's one of the first losses that Amazon has ever made on a quarterly basis. So that's why it's important. Then you move on to Apple, and what you actually see there is profit here is down by some 10%, $19.4 billion. It's still a big profit, obviously, for that quarter. iPhone sales have held up. That seemed to be a good thing in the United States. Here in Australia, of course, we've heard from the Treasurer in the past day, Jim Chalmers. He says that there will be no recession in Australia. He's actually suggesting there will be more of a soft landing for our economy. I can tell you that the markets have taken this very well today. So you've seen not only money market interest rates falling, as they have been for quite some time, but also even the stock market, as we speak, up by some 78 points, 1.1%. So really, in many ways, the markets have taken this news on the economy and interest rates very well here in Australia.
Okay, well, that's good news. Like here locally as well, nobody's using cash anymore, but that's prompted a merger between the two biggest armoured van operators. What more can you tell us?
Well, this is a really fascinating story. We recognise that cash use is significantly less than what it was. And so the business that's known as cash in transit, the armoured business, the Prosegur businesses, well, they're going to try and merge. They already have more than 70% market share in this business. But now, remember that they're moving from clubs and pubs and ATMs and other bank branches where cash is still used. Now, the expectation is that they will continue to use cash into the future. Armoured is owned by Lindsay Fox and his businesses, bought back in 2003. The other company, Prosegur, is actually a Spanish company based in Madrid internationally. So it's the local businesses of both of these coming together. And in many ways, normally, sort of giving market share of 70% plus, this sort of a merger wouldn't be allowed. But the Reserve Bank has already flagged the real difficulties in this industry. One small consequence of this, just a weird one, Gabriella, over a very long period of time, the robberies of armoured vans and even bank robberies are significantly down as compared with where they were even a decade ago. And that really is as a result of an increasingly cashless society.
Well, there you go. Business editor Ross Greenwood got it all covered for us. Thanks so much.